my honor to welcome you to this important milestone for Sarasota Memorial and our community. The completion of Sarasota Memorial new Oncology and Surgical Tower and the heart of the Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute. If you haven't had a tour, and if time permits, I suggest you do it. It is a wow, a big wow. A lot has changed since our groundbreaking in April of 2019. The current chairman, Joe, was out there with the shovel, but not shoveling snow, right, Joe? When we stood here with shovels and dirt and shared our plans and promises for a better tomorrow. No one could have predicted the pandemic and how drastically it would disrupt our world and put so many lives and projects on hold. Nothing like a sticky piece of paper. Hang on just 1 minute. I guess I could do it this way. It's been a long and challenging journey, and thanks to the incredible teamwork of our staff and partners, work on this wonderful tower did not miss a beat. I'd like to recognize my fellow colleagues on the hospital board, and I'd ask you to raise your hand or stand if you like. Greg Carter, Sharon Wessler DePeters, Joe Virgilio, welcome back Daryl Henry, Sarah Lodge, Dr. Richard Raymeyer, and Rick Reiner. Welcome back. On behalf of the entire board, I'd like to thank everyone here tonight. All of your contributions helped make the vision a reality. At this time, I'm proud to welcome Sarasota Memorial Healthcare System's President and Chief Executive Officer, David Barrender, who has spearheaded this and many other transformative changes to our community. David?
So one of the nice things about getting up here and talking is put this in a pocket, right? It's great to be up here. It feels like we've been doing this for quite some time, and pretty exciting for I know a lot of our team members. I will tell you that last week we opened a new hospital in Venice. Today we saw our first patients there, and it's a pretty busy day, and I've seen some very excited people. I know Lori and her team are looking forward to welcoming our new visitors and guests here, our patients here this coming Monday. So we're very excited about that. Now I do have to just share one thing about I know this is in Venice, but we had our first patient today, which was an unexpected one for us, but it was a newborn that a lady showed up, gave birth our very first pediatric little baby in the hospital that we did not know about before today. So anyway, it's very exciting for us and the team. Thank you, Jim, for everything that you've done, and I want to also thank all the members of our hospital board, past, present, and for your stewardship and support, which we are all very lucky here to have. We're very fortunate that the summer surge has subsided, and we can gather to celebrate these momentous occasions. And I wish we could have invited the entire community out today to this beautiful facility, but we just wanted to stay safe and make sure that we are still making sure we're not jumping the ship too early. But I do hope that we are on the very much downside of this. It's a special celebration, but I first want to take a moment and recognize Veterans Day and extend our deepest gratitude to our current formal members of the U.S. military and their families, including a couple of hundred of our own staff and physicians that practice here. I'm pleased to welcome, I want to single one person out. And I'm pleased to welcome retired Rear Admiral Logan Malone, who's sitting right here. So, I've had the privilege of calling Logan my friend for the past 16 years, and Logan, I just had to take the Veterans Day shout out to you.
We have to call him Admiral.
I do call him Admiral, Mr. Henry. I'd also like to recognize two former board members that are here with us tonight, because I do believe this is a very long process when we start these plans and put these in place. And just for that, I want to recognize Dr. Marguerite Malone. And Dr. Tom Kelly. I heard Dr. Kelly telling everyone he taught me everything that I know. So if you don't like me, that's apparently his fault. And I do just have to recognize a good friend of mine in the room tonight, who really was my boss for 8 years before I took over as CEO here, Miss Gwen McKenzie. I want to express our gratitude to the Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation and the Jellison family. It's so nice to be able to share this moment with all of you in person, with the whole family, and I just want to thank you, Sheila, Christy, Hillary, and Christy. Did I say that? And Michelle. I'm sorry, I didn't get the right list. But I've had a chance to get to know all of you over last couple of years, and it's been a complete delight. And thank you all for helping make this transformational gift to Sarasota Memorial and to the community ultimately. Thank you. We embarked on this journey in 2014 after a meeting I had with our long-term medical director, Dr. Rick Brown. Just wait, you're going to hear from him in a minute. We can't have it without hearing from Rick. But, Rick and I got together, and you know, he was talking to me. He goes, "Well, what's your vision for the hospital?" I said, he said, "How about a cancer center, Rick?" And it was
Jumped on it.
Yeah, it was jumped on it. He's never forgotten. And so he and I had the privilege of getting together and starting the process back in 2014. And I mean, pretty amazing where we are today. But thank you, Dr. Brown, for everything that you've done. And we've had an outstanding team of cancer specialists and oncology partners. And I do want to just recognize a couple of them today that helped on the very foundation. There's way too many to call everybody out, but of course Dr. Brown was on the foundation. Dr. Fiorica, Jim, where are you? Dr. Fiorica. And I'm going to call out Dr. Ken Meredith. Ken was probably one of the first physicians that I recruited when I took over as CEO, and I told him we were going to build this cancer center and how great it would be, and I can't believe he believed me, but we did, and we got him here, and he brought another level of care, and there's a lot of physicians in this room tonight that are just really the top of their game in the entire world, not just Sarasota, the entire world, entire country, and I'm extraordinarily humbled by them coming here and having faith that we're going to take care of their patients and do what we do. So thank you all, and they're all in the back over here. So thank you. So today we're celebrating the opening of our Oncology Tower, the latest addition and cornerstone to the expanding Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute. But it's not the first, nor will it be the last. The Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute is not just one building. It's a comprehensive cancer center that's bringing together the best doctors, the latest research, and the most advanced treatments, and state-of-the-art facilities in our own community. You may recall we opened a new radiation oncology center on University Parkway in 2000. And although the pandemic prevented us from hosting a grand opening, we have already treated over 450 patients in that facility, safely delivering targeted radiation therapy with an expert team and the latest technology. That's 450 people that got to stay in this community that did not have to drive somewhere or get in a plane and fly somewhere else. And more plans are in the works over the next few years, including our cancer pavilion. We will build across the street, right there where that dome roof thing is, and on our Venice campus, we expand there. Both will provide an array of outpatient cancer services. The key focus to the Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute was building upon our existing medical expertise, layering in advanced specialties, and ensuring our full spectrum of coordinated, collaborative, and supportive care for cancer patients and their families. So, I would like to turn the mic over to Lori Lane, President of SMH's Sarasota Campus, to the podium. So Lori, come up here and join me for a minute. It's her day, all right? And I'll tell you, in addition to her day job, which is extensive, okay, she's managed to pull this together with her and her team. And you've done a remarkable job. This community is proud of you and everything that you've brought to us, and thank you. Okay.
Good evening. It is a great night, and I'm so glad that you're here to join us. They say the harder you work for something, the greater you feel when you reach the finish line. Like a marathon, there were times we questioned whether we would make it. But through the amazing perseverance and the unwavering commitment to our vision, we did it. And I can speak for everyone that worked on this project. This moment feels great. We are thrilled to invite you into our new Oncology Tower for one special pre-opening sneak peek. This building stands as a shining beacon of hope for patients and families affected by cancer, whether they're diagnosed today or tomorrow or in the decades to come. Sadly, we recognize that cancer is not on the decline. More than 1.7 million new cancer cases are expected to be diagnosed in this calendar year, and another 1.7 million or more next year and the year after. And with Florida's large retiree population, the impact of our community is significant because we know with age, the risk and frequency of cancer increases. But there's good news. Many cancers are being detected at earlier, more treatable stages, and the coordinated care we are providing within these walls and across Sarasota County ensures patients have access to the full range of specialists, treatments, and technologies to treat and beat cancer. This truly is an amazing facility that has been designed floor by floor, room by room, and perhaps inch by inch, with input from our staff, our patients and their families, and our physicians. We now have 56 spacious private patient suites, 9 operating rooms with new robotic capabilities, all dedicated to the care and treatment of patients with cancer. In addition, we're offering an array of navigation services based on cancer type, counseling and support services unique to each patient, their diagnosis, and their specific needs. I wish there was time to name all of the individuals, staff, and partners who have dedicated countless days, hours, months, and perhaps years to this project. And I can add probably a few sleepless nights as well. But please allow me a few minutes to recognize just a few individuals whose diligence and dedication made this day possible. Cancer Institute Executive Director, Kelly Batista. And Oncology Project Manager, Kelly Dancer, lovingly known as the Kellys. Tirelessly to ensure every detail, inside and out, large and small, was managed and achieved through personalized attention, tracking, follow-up, and care. And there's a little bit of a list, so let's just hold our applause to the end. Patient Care Director Yolanda Green. She is pretty amazing. Whose cancer team has been instrumental throughout the planning and programming phases, making sure that our nursing staff is ready to provide the highest quality of care to our cancer patients. Associate Chief Nursing Officer David Patterson, who has overseen the largest expansion of ORs this institution has ever seen, with 3 new Da Vinci robotic surgical systems. And can I also add that David advocated and negotiated for the latest and most expensive operating wall system available, the Fortress system, which is truly cutting edge in this industry. Our HR team, who has onboarded over 100 new staff members, including experienced and certified oncology nurses from across the state and throughout the United States. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to our design build team, Flat Architects, and Brosfield and Gorey, our general contractor. Together with our team, we built an oncology tower that we are all proud to call ours. Our SMH team, and I will say, hands down the best anywhere, was led by Tom Perigo, Director of Architecture and Construction, John Salt, Director of Facilities Management, Information Systems, Mike Martin, Robert Altiro, Stacy and Kale Steppen, Supply Chain, Biomedical Engineering, and Equipment Procurement, Robert Milano, Robert Santos, and Danielle Maddox. Pharmacy, Dr. Dave Youngst and Dr. Edward McLean. Environmental Services and Food and Nutrition, Greg Rosenberger and Josh Kapanos. These leaders and their dedicated teams cleared every obstacle during our horrific pandemic and with unprecedented supply chain challenges to ensure that this facility opened on time and on budget. I am personally grateful to each and every one of these individuals. Well done. At this time, I'd like to introduce the medical director of the Sarasota Memorial Cancer Institute, Dr. Richard Brown. He has been the guiding force and the guiding light since its inception. I would like to invite you to the podium with my gratitude as well for your leadership.
Okay. Thank you, Laurie. I have a speech, and I talked to a few minutes ago, Peter and David, and said, it's a good speech, and David said, I think so, just wing it. So I'm sorry, I'm up here and took the advice, and I'm just going to wing it and speak from what I want to speak about tonight. And thank a few people, but and if I embarrass myself, I apologize. This has obviously been a big endeavor for everyone involved, and it means a lot to this community. Cancer is a really, really, really tough disease, and it tugs at everyone's heart because it's a scary diagnosis. Unfortunately, I'm sure everyone in this room has had the opportunity to be touched, have a family member themselves be touched by cancer, and we all know what it does and how much it puts a strain on the individual. And cancer treatment could also be hard. And everyone in this room and everyone contributing to what we're doing here really has the same vision, which is we're really trying to make that as easy as possible because it is damn hard, and we don't want to see people have to leave this community because they feel that that's the only way they can get good cancer care. And we know we have great physicians here, we're adding to those physicians, and we have great nursing, and we have a great administration support, and we know we can do it right here in town. And this edifice is just the fruition of a lot of hard work for everyone to try and keep all those people here and be able to care for them. We make distinction between cancer treatment. Cancer treatment is the surgery, the radiation therapy, and the chemotherapy we give and all the other medications. But cancer care is much more than that. And that's what we're trying to bring to this community, which is we want to take care of our citizens. We want to make sure that they feel that they have everything they need in terms of emotional support, physical support, and everything else that goes with it, because it is hard. And we all just trying to make it a lot easier. You know, we've built this tower, and it was a tremendous, a lot of work for everyone involved. And my own personal thanks to Lori, Kelly, and Yolanda, and everyone else, and Dave Patterson, who contributed to this, as well as all of the physicians. But it's really about the patients and what we can do from here. So we're assembling a team. We are working hard as physicians to try and provide state-of-the-art, evidence-based care. We are augmenting that team with physicians from all around the country, Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, the Harvard Teaching Hospitals. So we're really trying to do everything we can so that this community is proud of what we've done here. I just want to say that this is something that is necessary. It is something that we feel that we could do. And the thought was, and I quote in my speech, I wanted to say, at least with regards to speakers, these physicians, that if we build it, they will come, and they have come. But it's really more about if we build it, they will stay. And that's what we're looking for. So this is going to be a place of hope. This is going to be a place where people can be proud of. And this is a place that I myself am very proud of being part of. I had a little ceremony the other day, and I said how proud I am to walk down the halls of Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And I mean that sincerely. This is a tremendous hospital, and I think once again we have risen, and this is just another demonstration of it. David said that we have a lot more plans. The Brian D. Jellison Institute, Cancer Institute, this is the start. We have far greater vision for it than just this building and university, whether it's across the way in terms of the Cancer Pavilion or extending everything down to Venice. The vision is much greater, and we have the right team in place. But what I want to say is the story is not ending here, that we have raised the bar pretty high. The bar is high. But what I'm most proud about Sarasota Memorial Hospital is that we look at these bars and we reach them. And every time we reach them, we just keep raising the bar. And that has been our culture, and that is the way we are. And today we've reached the bar, but tomorrow we're going to be raising it again. And on a personal note, I just want to thank David and Lori, the hospital board, the foundation, the Jellison family, and everyone else who I have left out, because I think today the members and citizens of Sarasota County have a much better hospital to meet their cancer needs. And with that, I will hand the mic over to Mason. I'm sorry that I sort of went off a cue here, but I always do what David tells me to do.
Good evening, everyone. Doesn't it feel great to be back together in person? I mean, I'm so tired to Zoom. I can just. So tonight marks both a historical and a hope-filled day for our community. I don't know if you saw coming in here, there was a beautiful rainbow. Actually, Sheila showed me that she took a picture of it at her house, and I think that's emblematic of this day. It's a beautiful day for the community. It's a beautiful day for the hospital, and it's a beautiful day for us. So, but before I begin my remarks, I do want to take just a quick second and congratulate David. Where's David? David, here. David, Lori, Dr. Brown, the Kellys, and the entire oncology team for bringing this wonderful vision to life. It's amazing. You've accomplished so much in these extraordinary times, and you have so much to be proud of. And I want to be the first to say that hope has come home to Sarasota. You know, transforming cancer care requires transformational partners who have both a passion and a vision to make a difference. We have many of those partners here with us tonight. First, I'd like to thank and recognize our Board of Trustees. We have most of them in the room. Can you please stand and be recognized? We value your leadership and commitment in helping bring philanthropy into this project. I also want to express a heartfelt thank you to all of our donors who have supported our Leading with Care campaign. Never in the Healthcare Foundation's 45 years have we seen a more passionate community come together around a cause like the Cancer Institute. And I'm happy to report tonight that we have already raised $56 million towards our $75 million goal. And you heard David earlier, and you heard Dr. Brown earlier. There's even a bigger vision beyond this tower. And we've got some work to do, but I'm confident we will hit our $75 million goal here shortly. By supporting the campaign, you've set the bar for being able to turn generosity into empathy and compassion for those who are battling cancer. And that generosity has an immeasurable impact on so many lives here. So I want to thank you. In closing, I would like to just share a quick story. When I joined the foundation 5 years ago, one of the first things that we decided to tackle was rebranding our organization to better reflect our mission. And I have to say we struggled a little bit about the best way to state the unique relationship between the hospital, the community, and the foundation. But with a lot of deliberation and with the help of our board and our foundation team, we ended up coming up with a tagline: together we strengthen healthcare. Well, standing here in this amazing tower with all of you, we can boldly say tonight, together we are strengthening healthcare. So thank you so much. Now I'd like to take a moment and acknowledge the Jellison family. A couple years ago, I had the pleasure to meet Sheila Jellison through her connection with Dr. Brown and Kelly. She wanted to learn more about the Cancer Institute and discuss ways that she might see herself getting involved. In our meeting, we had an opportunity to share our campaign presentation, which I think many of you may have seen also. And it was amazing how quickly she got the vision of the Cancer Institute. You see, for the Jellison family, it was personal. Having suffered through Brian's cancer journey and loss, the family didn't look back. They looked forward towards a brighter future. And with an incredible amount of heart and humanity, they made a $25 million transformational gift. The gift of hope. Sheila, the Jellison family, we are so grateful for what you're doing and what you've done to bring this vision to life. Thank you. So now I'd like to introduce Christy Jellison Ruha. Christy is one of Brian and Sheila's 3 wonderful daughters who will say a few words on behalf of the Jellison family.
My goal was to not cry while I talk about my dad. What makes I already kind of started by saying that. So it's been 3 years since my family heard the words that would change us forever. Your dad has cancer. We all asked the question, what's next and how can we help? There were times my dad had to travel for some of his treatments and surgery. This was a challenge for both him and my mom, his ultimate caregiver. No one wants to be away from home when you're fighting cancer. My sisters and I took turns coming down to help support my mom and dad, and ultimately, in the end, we were able to spend his last day of my dad's life together. About a year after my dad passed, my mom wrote a thank you note to Dr. Brown. In the note, my mom thanked him and his team, and she said, when dealing with cancer, hope is the most important element. When Dr. Brown read this quote from my mom, he knew he had found the perfect quote to display on the new Radiation Oncology Center. This was the spark that led to our Family Foundation's commitment to the new Cancer Institute at SMH. Our family was moved by the vision that Sarasota Memorial Hospital had to bring hope home and to create a new Cancer Institute, that we made the $25 million gift to support this ambitious and important goal for our community. A few days later, my mom received an unexpected call from Mason Ayers and David Barrender. Sarasota Memorial Hospital's new Cancer Institute would be named in honor of my father, something that both surprised and shocked us. It would now be called the Jellison Cancer Institute. My mom, sisters, and I were excited and emotional about this honor. There were certainly tears shed when we heard the news. We just had to make one small adjustment. The center would have to be named the Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute. This was very important to us, not only because my dad used his middle initial professionally, but because there's an actual Dr. Brian Jellison in radiology who graduated from Indiana University, where my father went to undergraduate school. So who is Brian D. Jellison? He grew up in Portland, Indiana. He worked in his father's hardware store named Jellison Hardware. He was the youngest in the family, with an older brother and sister. He lost both of his parents by the age of 18. He didn't listen to his high school counselor, who told him that he shouldn't go to college. She said he should stay and work in the hardware store. But my dad chose a different path. He attended Indiana University, worked several jobs to put himself through college. He met the love of his life when he met my mom, Sheila. They spent 52 years of marriage together. They moved all over the United States. He attended Columbia University for graduate school. They had 3 daughters and 8 grandchildren. Education and financial literacy were very important to him. He worked at General Electric, Ingersoll Rand, and was the president, CEO, and executive chairman of Roper Technologies here in Sarasota. My dad loved his family. He loved nature, oceans, mountains, traveling to other states and countries. He loved Indiana basketball and football, the Cincinnati Reds, and NFL football. He could be seen running through the airport to catch a work flight because whatever he was doing prior to leaving for the airport was only needed 5 more minutes. My dad was a loving and funny man. He was always full of options. He spoke his mind and was a true leader. My dad had an unbelievable talent for finding the right people to bring together as a team. This is evident in the continued success that his team at Roper Technologies has achieved since his passing, and he would be so proud of all of them. Our foundation signed our gift agreement with SMH on Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. We all came together for the signing with our own pens, as the new COVID situation was getting a little more concerning by the day. We certainly did not know that 24 hours later the world would begin locking down. As we come together today to celebrate the grand opening of the Brian D. Jellison Cancer Institute, we would like to thank all the donors who have helped to make today happen. Our family wants to thank the entire SMH community and all the construction workers in various trades who worked through this pandemic to get the Jellison Cancer Institute open in a timely manner. My dad achieved more than he ever thought was possible in his life. He would be very humbled to see that the foundation's gift could bring hope home to even one person who's fighting cancer. Thank you.
like to have joining me up here Ms. Sheila Jellison, Dave Verinder, Mason Ayers, Lori Lang, Dr. Richard Brown. If you could please join us up front.
In front of the podium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Here, Sheila.
Slide in a little, guys, so you can come down.
Here,
Yeah, there.
Let's take a step forward.
Here, Sheila.
Yeah. Dr. Brown. All right. There you go. How's Jim doing?
Yeah.